quick start, but we are back at it. Ladies and gentlemen, the UCC Summer Smash opens up with a smash. Bubsky with a double. Oh my god, Kieran. Well, I can't even do the intro right. The pistol's already live. A 3v3. Let's get straight at it.
Yeah, it seems like we've dived right into the pistol here. Bomb's already planted, and we'll see a 3-on-3, as you said. Trick going to be on that CT side to begin here on Nuke. And Rubino, well, he's going to be looking for a little bit of a wraparound. Hunden already coming in from the lower tunnel position, though. Tap on the bomb, try and force out the defuse. And, oh, as Rubino catches out Hunden, well, that makes life so much easier. Borup to reply with one of his own, but again, with no kit. This makes the round all but gone for Tricked. Unfortunately, there is no time left to land that defuse, even with the frags they get. And that'll see Nordavind taking themselves a nice little opening pistol round here on that T side. First map being Nuke, of course, a map that Tricked have won in their previous matchup. So this is a bit of a grudge match in this series that we've got going on right here.
I mean, we spoke just briefly about their previous engagements or maps in the past. Of course, Nuke, every time they played it, it was Tricked winning it. And Nordavind, Overpass, it was them winning it, obviously. So, as you said, a grudge match, and definitely perhaps some revenge coming out for Tricked, as they lost the best-of-3 series against Nordavind. But look at this. It's a force buy, and it's going to be an A push-out with Nordavind. Might see if this could work out here for Tricked, but not really much going on. I mean, they got a single kill, that's it. That's not really going to be enough. Akor and Siash. It's fair to say that this will be 2-0 and a bit of a failed force by Tricked, not really getting very far. And again, their revenge will have to be served cold if they want to make sure Nordavind does not enjoy it. In any case, Nordavind, I mean, we've seen them yesterday, how well they were able to perform against Chaos, even though they had their slumps and their slip-ups. Overall, it was a pretty damn good return series from them. And I have to add that I'm happy to see them perform in this kind of manner.
Oh yeah, for sure. They've looked really good since, unfortunately, since Radifaction was benched. They brought in Harry, and he's actually, he's slotted into the side quite well. Of course, I'm pretty sure they've played with him in the past, but then chose Radifaction over him. And then obviously once they realized that the side wasn't as strong as they would like it to be, brought Harry back into the side, and they've actually clicked really well. I think Rubino started to understand how to guide this team and how to get the maximum success out of them, because realistically, I mean, Tensky and Croman, they've been around a long time. Holzerk, pretty new on the scene, was playing with, I think, BX3 back in 2014, 15, 16, those sort of years. But realistically, with some of these older players, Rubino's getting a lot out of them. Croman obviously having that really good run with FaZe last year, so he's had some top play experience and is obviously ready to play in this kind of level. But yeah, Nordavind, since they've really started to clip, they've brought out some really good victories, and I think it's happy to see that we finally see a Norwegian side in a scene so desolate, as a side that's able to compete on a pretty decent level.
I would add on top of that Nordavind, for the most part, people seem to forget about this team as if it never existed, because there are obviously key core fans that love it to death do us part and all, but for the most part, not many people seem to be aware that this is a team that is going to be on the top levels within half a year, maybe less. I mean, they've risen alongside Tricked, maybe even faster than Tricked have, and I think they have great potential to really achieve high quality, in the end, achievements as a whole. I mean, they've been an amazing team from what we've seen so far.
Especially during this group stage as well. When we saw them take that 3-0 in the Swiss bracket, I think that just proved how good that they were going to be coming into this event. And then obviously to fight off Chaos yesterday, we saw a very grudge 3-map series, which did see Nordavind having a lot more energy. And in recent times, they've sort of lost some pretty, bigger series that they probably shouldn't have lost. The one against Nordavind, they even went 2-1 against Final Tribe, which is obviously Pitt's new team, which was formerly Vexed, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, it was a very close map, some close series they've had recently, whereas Nordavind, they've been really performing in some of their series. 2-0 against No Chance, who are obviously about to go into the minor. 2-0 against Vega, a side that's been playing in this event as well. So Nordavind proving that they can definitely get series wrapped up quickly, and of course going into this first gun round of His first map here on Nuke. We'll see Akor onto an AWP, allowing that Nordavind side to maybe challenge him with no orb by themselves. This will have to be a fast A rush, and it's Holzerk that's out first. It's Borup to trade, but again, Rubino fires back. It's Akor that's trying to rattle a shot off through that smoke, but nothing to come of it as of yet. And as Shush wraps in from heaven, that bomb's already planted, a 4-on-3, and with a little bit of damage inflicted already, that might just call the save out of Trick. Dakor's backing away, and exactly the same for Hunden. They're not going to attempt this, and that's going to give Nordavind a very nice 4-0 beginning. They're not even going to try and retake.
So there's no point in retaking. Just keep your weapons in hand. Make sure you transfer them to the next round. You can rebuy, of course, if you want. It's going to limit you to having an SMG or a pistol on the 2 players. Maybe a scout if it can come. But overall, Nordavind, they've started... Oh, actually, no. It's going to be maximum loss bonus. Never mind, then. They can drop rifles. It's okay. They've got more than enough. I just realized. Max loss bonus. They can rebuy easy. They've got pretty much everything they need to put an end to this play from Nordavind, to put an end to this progression. So far, though, Nordavind, they've been able to kind of gather the storm. The A plays have been successful. Pretty much straight up A's. The one time they went ramp towards B, they succeeded as well. That's obviously on the pistol, but overall, seems like they'll be taking a bit of a slower paced play right now, at least. Outside smokes deployed. That's a lot of smokes and a lot of utility. 4 players coming through outside red. The Molotov will stop them, and looks like Hunden will be able to hold through main, at least for the moment. Borp already down secret. He's ready for the play.
Yeah, it took a lot of damage as he dipped down there, but like you said, the rotate is there. Position's going to be taken up by Tricked, and this time Nordavind, as they slow things down toward this secret rush, we'll start to see them eventually making their way down toward that lower tunnel position. We do see, obviously, Trick getting set up and ready for this. We have Hunden quick for that vent rotate if it is required. Croman even going to lurk up towards Squeaky Door as well, which is always a nice little aspect to bring. He can dip through vents if they already break through onto the site. So, has to be careful of Hunden, though, who is lurking in those back lines. You can see just on the X-ray down below as Borup's getting ready to come into contact with these Nordavind players. The utility to be expended by that T side gives instant info to Borup himself. He'll let them cross, however, as he wants to maybe try and bait for the information. Croman shutting down Hunden. That's on the A site, though, and there's the vent dip that we needed. 40 on the clock, and he's already adding a little bit of versatility into this site take now. Borup has to be careful. Low HP and taking that first swing out, but Holzerk won't expect it, actually. Trading it back into a 4-on-4, and as time does tick away, they will maybe rotate back towards A right now, as Borup finds, again, another kill down toward this B bomb site. That seriously limits Nordavind and what they can do right here. They're a little bit undecided, and with already players split across the site, time is low. They have to break through, and it looks like it is going to be A. Bubsky. Can't deny it as of yet, though. Oh, this is perfect, though. Timing's been great for him.
Yeah, he should be able to snag a free kill. There it is. Borup going to catch Hara. Now it leaves it down to Tensky, as he has to win a 1-on-3. The fuse is not yet through, and Tensky's going to slow walk through Squeaky. Of course, Acker is ready on the angle. He's going to be holding it all day long. Of course, smart from Bubsky that he does not try and hold that C4, as he does not know where the last player is. He could have walked out of hut. That angle would have been off-putting for Akor, and it would have been a free kill back to a 1-on-2. So Tricked, they play it safe. It shows they know their game, they know their style, and well, it's going to be a full buy both sides. Obviously, the money's still not running dry for Nordavind, and they've been playing pretty aggressively so far. They've really been pushing almost every position as quickly as they can. We already see, again, it's going to be harder down vents, but he's at 27 HP. That will leave him wounded a little bit. But 1 minute 30 seconds, Nordavind seems like they want to execute a B plate through ramp. Akor, all on him, misses the first. This tagged Rubino, but just barely. Oh, gets tagged in as he stops at the entry through B. Hade will catch him. There's the flank, although Syash refracts. Syash the second. That's enough, although Tensky keeps it at a 3-on-3. It's 1 HP for Rubino. Well, 4. Semantics, I guess. Bubsky holding smart. Doesn't want to push, at least not too far.
Yeah, and with Rubino challenging to the smoke at least to provide him a little bit of security, but a beautiful spam. Sees that smoke absolutely worthless. Hunden takes out 2.
Loving the cross.
Yeah, that just leaves a beautiful setup for Bubsky to come in and finish. We saw a lot of that yesterday from Nordavind with the aggression that they like to show, with how quickly they want to try and make a play. We saw it in Mirage with that final map against Chaos, where it was Harry again that was always down into connector, and actually it worked like maybe 2 or 3 times when they were playing against Chaos, and they were able to exploit that connector push. But different sides, you know, operate differently with how they hold aggression, and Tricked are a team that definitely won't give anything too lightly. So maybe one setup that they realize work against Chaos is definitely not going to work against Tricked, and I think at some points Nordavind are a little over-aggressive, so that's something they have to rein in, but it looks like they're going to take a little bit of attack pool, see what they can decide and bring into this round. Of course, money still working in their favor. T-side always going to have a build-up of bank, but Trick getting a little more settled into this game now. Even with 4 rounds on a T-side, it's not too bad. They're getting to that point where they're going to have enough rounds to go into the second half with, but realistically, if we know anything about Tricked, right, then we know that they can win a good nuke game and do it before their opponents realistically even reach double figures.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good way to look at it. I mean, 4-0 was an excellent beginning for Nordavind. Their aggression was perhaps unexpected by Tricked, and, well, it kind of showed that it was, as they lost it all. But immediately as the adjustments come from, of course, our Danish team, we can see that they're able to put an end to the plays. They're able to at least delay the rush long enough to allow their rotations to work, their utility to come to play. And, well, Rubino through outside, he's been a little bit of a sneaky devil, trying to get out quickly, but denied early on. So far Tricked, off to a good beginning, although, as I said, Boer burns alive to 36. That's certainly not a good start for him. Overall, seems like a bit of a fake out towards outside. I love this. Look at all the 4 players of Nordavind in lobby as Rubino's making his way through secret. They want to divert the attention, and they're succeeding. Soldo Hunden, SG in hand, pulls it out in time as he takes down 2. Bubsky covers the corner from Rafters, and that's going to be the round gone. Rubino, he's left alone in garage. Kieran, well, I mean, Tricked might have lost 2 players here, but they certainly should be winning the round.
Yeah, that was a beautiful little setup by Hunden there. A little bit of luck on his side as he was able to whip out the SG in perfect time. But yeah, overall, that's a really solid round from the IGL. Bubsky to get things closed off and finished. And now we see the struggle coming out of Nordavind just because the money's now not going to be with them. You can see Croman down to 2,400, Holzek not too far ahead. So there's definitely an economic difference across this side. It might actually force them into a purchase, but they should be just taking pistols, Kevlar, if they're smart enough. And exactly that is what they're going to do. But Tricked able to most likely tie the scoreline here. They're going to be up 4-4 and ensuring that the CT side remains competitive. Hunden already able to drop the bomb. Even on an eco, that's a little foolish to take the bomb outside solo. Hunden wraps up 2, and that should be the round itself. Nice deagle shot by Harry, though. Shush to fall, and maybe even looking for a little bit more as he is tempting fate down toward ramp. And a very good start. And again, another great shot out of Harry, but yeah, Trick keeping composed in the, yeah, exactly. Refrags are essential in an eco round like this, especially with pistols. We saw that yesterday. But yeah, Trick so far looking like a really solid CT side. We know exactly that they like to play nuke like this as well. We saw this against, I believe, alternate attacks back in season 2, or it was a different event. Maybe not too sure, but I know we saw like a 16-6 from Tricked on nuke. So there's definitely a lot in there from them.
I know they were supposed to play against XCOM on nuke, but it was 2-0 for them when they proceeded forward. So I'm trying to recall when exactly that was. But yeah, I remember that 16-6. I think it was, yeah, definitely.
It looks like it was way more than 3 months ago because it's not on. It's not on the list.
Well, they've had many 16-6 results.
Very true.
To be honest, so there are many games we can probably look up for that result.
It was Lootbet season 2. Yeah, 16-7.
Okay, fair enough. Back then, when alternate were still kind of trying to break through. Holzerg though, 8 seconds. He's gonna plant the bomb. It's a 1-on-2, and Bubsky, he's fast to it, obviously in HUD. Although, wait a second, Holzerg, he's gonna snag a kill. Bubsky, indecisive, it cost him his life, and now Boer back to a 1-on-1. My god, Nordavind, will they win this? I think they will. Oh boy, this is looking pretty tight, and Holzerg, oh. That was a close call. Boer saves the day, as it is gonna be 4-4. Tricked will be able to tie it up. But a crucial round coming up right now, as the money for Tricked will be going a little bit low. We gotta consider the fact they'll have to rebuy fully, and if Nordavind are able to take the next, which they have to buy for, things can go very much sideways.
That's the thing, especially as a CT side, you really want to be making sure that you're keeping majority of those players alive, at least 3, just to ensure that you're dropping weapons, keeping the money at least a little semi-safe. And that's the one issue that CT sides face so much. As soon as they start losing players, even though they win rounds, it's the rebuys that cost them. Tensky and Bubsky.
Akor missing.
Beautiful one-for-one trade, and that's some vital shots missed. That gives 2 free kills, and even though Hunden replies for 2, it's not going to matter as Shush gets caught out in higher, and that's going to be a simple round for Nordavind. A lot of mistakes made by Trick there that really cost them a vital round.
That's going to hurt, my friend. Absolutely. And what happens when Akor is missing most of his shots, whilst the IGL, the man you would never... I mean, you can rely on him, but you have so many other players that can excel at what he can do, and he just shows up, kills 2, and it's still not enough. That is going to be a problem. Tricked and Eco.
This is now the harsh reality, because they've lost those 2 rounds, or not even lost those 2 rounds, they lost a round but then had to rebuy. This is now where they face that economic difficulty, and that's something exactly that Nordavind are going to look to exploit. And now that there's only pistols in their hands, Trick should be doing nothing in this round. They've stacked inside a main, which is a decent idea if they are going to get challenged toward outside, but realistically, this should be Nordavind taking 6, and we've got to say, they have plenty of rounds right now on this T side to go into the second half with.
I mean, absolutely. 5 is more than enough. Borup, though, finds 1. Wait a second. I mean, the Seiko round can still go the other way. Nordavind, they've just lost a man. A minute left. There's a Deagle. There's an SG. There is potential. Unfortunately, Tensky will shut it down. Well, that's the way it goes. That's the way it flies. And, yeah, 8 through heaven works out. It looks like we'll have a pretty classic 6-4 result. And probably... the full buy coming up next. I mean, it should be a full buy coming up next, obviously, for Tricked. And a vital round for them, really.
It's the one that's going to really decide whether Nordavind can get a very successful half or not. Because if Tricked, of course, lose this one, that's going to see at least 7-8 rounds being given to this T side. And on a T side of Nuke, that's deadly dangerous. Even if you get any more than 6 rounds, you're going to be really solid. And maybe this is the turn of Nordavind. Maybe this is the time where they've finally been able to review those VODs and realize what Trick to bring to Nuke. But again, we've seen Trick not particularly as strong as they would have been in a couple of months ago in some of these series. They've had some definitely up and down maps that have showed there are weaknesses in this side, and they can be at least a little exploited and read. And indeed, yeah, with this buy round, it's still not as plentiful as they would like. Of course, Hunden sacrificing a rifle just to be able to pick up the utility. No defuse kits, though, which of course is a massive issue. Akor at least having his AWP with Kevlar, but you can see just how stretched Tricked are. Just like the buy round, it's not plentiful. They have very little utility. You can see that they're on their last legs, and losing this might just kill them off in the first.
I mean, losing this will most likely propel Nordavind straight up to 9 rounds, maybe more in this first half. It's almost a guarantee, because we got to consider every buy that's going to come after this one is going to be just the same or equally as bad as this one. Or if nothing else, there's might be a one single buy where they have enough for everybody having utility, etc., etc. But we see the Otwan Akor. He's been missing his shots. If he's able to connect finally, if he's able to bring through at least a little bit of the thunder he used to roar, perhaps we can get far, perhaps we can get deep. And there it is, as I say, Akor. The dream comes true. Borup already holding secret. Oh, this is an off angle. And a dangerous one at that, but he smokes off Holzerk and Rubino. And looks like we've got a proper game on our hands. Akor sounding off again. I love this guy, man. I have to admit, I've played with him a few times, Face It and such. He's a chill dude. Very chill.
He's a dude that you need in the series as well, right? Once he has his AWP, he's really a lot more comfortable. Can provide a lot of opportunities for Trick, and that's exactly what he's done there. Opened it with 2. He's already depreciated the man disadvantage and makes it even further with Bubsky there. 20 on the clock, and it's already the round done. Croman finished off, and that's a really solid round from Trick. Exactly, beautiful. And the one time where their money was so down in the dirt, that's what exactly they needed. A clean 5-man survival to just boost that bank. They keep everything going into the next round, and that's exactly what they needed.
Absolutely. I mean, it saves them long-term here on Nuke. It is their map pick, and, well, we have to consider the fact that Nordavind are currently 6 rounds up on T side. It's a great deal of an advantage, if you can call it already. I mean, even if this were to end 9-6, Nordavind will still be content, and they'll be happy with how it went down. Well, I mean, if we take a look at the past results of Nuke within the late few months, we can say safely that Nuke has changed a little bit when it comes to the T side, and there have been differences because of the SG now being involved and perhaps the meta changing as a whole. There have been instances where perhaps the T side takes 8 rounds and then they equally fail, or they fail then on the CT side, or the other way around. But the point I'm trying to make is, even though Nuke used to be one of the most CT-sided maps ever, if you look at the history of CS, the CT side was always the one side that would dominate it. 10-5, 11-4, 12-3, you know, just name it, they would get it. It speaks volumes that you're still able to perform on it, because it's not an easy map to play. You really have to have good team play, good communication, and good teamwork as a whole. And as we can see already, Hunden and Akor, they work well in tandem. Although it's going to be Rubino punishing Akor's peak, and, well, Hunden is again in main. He's been a very good defender so far. Bubsky, who holds hell. It looks like it might be 6-6, my friend.
Yeah, it looks like Trick, they're going to actually put another couple of rounds on the board as Hunden spots out from the flanks. That's beautiful timing. Just leaves Rubino with that Krieg in hand. And as you mentioned, Nordavind, the confidence from them to be able to play on Nuke and put up a decent scoreline is pretty testimonial to how good their energy is, considering that I think they're on a 6 loss streak or a 5 loss streak on Nuke right now, with some, you know, up and down results, all of them -1 being at least grabbing double figures. But I know most recently that they lost the 16-14 to Fierce, which I believe was their map pick as well. They were confident enough to go in for the map pick on Nuke. The veto wasn't on HLTV, doesn't really show because it's the SCA, but I'm fairly certain that would have been their map pick, considering Fierce particularly aren't a side that play Nuke all that often. But yeah, to say that Nordavind is still confident enough to battle against Trick with these rounds they're getting on this T side after a 5 loss streak is really good from their team side. Akor has to be careful though.
Ninja, my friend.
His head nearly got picked off right there.
Oh boy, that was a close call. Bubsky and Akor, though, again, in tandem they hit and they find themselves 2 targets. It's pistols and Kevlar though, so it's not that dangerous to go up against, but we should never underestimate the quality that Nordavind can bring with their pistols alone. The Deagles we've been seeing lately, I mean, yesterday against Chaos, I think it was Tensky or it was Hare, one or the other, with the Deagle, that they won the round on Mirage.
Yeah, Harry
it was a one on... Yeah, like, it just... I think it was Hare, yeah. So, I mean, crazy, crazy times. And again, we do have a full buy coming out, so we could potentially see 7-7 even, and just a rise in power for Nordavind.
Oh my god, Hunden. Alright then.
Oh, okay.
Hunden, he's actually been really solid this series. Obviously, game leaders aren't
Hunden!
for their fragging abilities, but Hunden,
wow.
He's exactly so today. He's on his game 8-6, a very quick round by Tricked, and surely this should be guaranteeing a 9th on the board. There is a rebuy to come out of Nordavind. It's not as plentiful as they would like, though. Harry down to a Mac 10, but that's a really good display from Hunden there.
Dude, I love it. I am absolutely enjoying him. I've been watching his games since Alternate Attacks, at least when it comes to CSGO. Ever since he played from there, I've been following his journey, and he had a tough journey. If you look at his CS career, when he was in Alternate Attacks, the team that he was with, I mean, they had success somewhat here and there, but usually were unable to progress beyond some major qualifications or anything of the like. They made it, I believe there were a few circuits they made it into the, let's say, top 32, top 16, but overall, they never really got too far, and I'm so happy that he finally found a team he can work with. He's such a good IGL. You can never underestimate him. And you can't expect a perfect performance always, but this is just a cherry on top. Sjush, alone on B, holds the line. Holds a refrags. It's still Sjush somehow, but he will finally fall.
Yeah, and it looks like finally Nordavind might be able to make a round in their favor. Holzerk on this close corner. Is he going to get checked? Well, exactly not. A nice little no-scope to end it off there. And With Hunden, the man himself, left into that 1-on-3, 45 seconds just passed as that bomb is looking to eventually be funneled onto the A bomb site. They realize that Hunden's probably lingering towards B, and as he's already spotted out, looks like it should be an 8-7 to finish off the first half, and that's going to make it as close as possible. Croman burning alive in the molly and will eventually fall, but with 2 further players to contend against, you shouldn't be getting too much out of this. But an 8-7 to finish the game itself is a really, really close scoreline, especially on Nuke, where it's not rare to see a 11-4, 12-3 sort of half on the CT side, so to have it as close as possible going into the second side actually speaks really well for
this game so much more enjoyable for me. I've been following Tricked since the start. I have to say I'm a bit of a fanboy. I admit, I read my hands are up. I can say equally for Nordavind. I've been watching them from the start. Ever since they were playing with Red Faction, and with Harvard joining, I think he's an excellent addition to the team. He's been a perfect player for them, really just doing his best to make sure that the team has what it needs and he's able to support as well as perform when expected to. So far, Nordavind, the pistol, let's see if it's theirs.
Yeah, you're going to see a fast rush down toward ramp from this Trick side. Not going to be waiting any longer, and they'll actually divert in toward the back of that CT spawn. Make it up toward heaven. That's just a really diverted play, and I kind of like to see it. Bubsky, a beautiful opener, but it's Rubino that's able to fire for 3.
Oh, boy.
Well, that's a way to open up a pistol. Anything that Tricked have done in this round so far, Rubino's just topped it for now, and with Holzerk in support coming in from that heaven position, that's a beautiful wrap-up of the round. That's 8-8, and Nordavind, they'll tie it up, start their CT side endeavor very, very well, making sure that Tricked aren't going to be running away with a couple of these rounds early in the second half. A buy to come out of Nordavind, of course. I hope we see Tricked take that eco, which exactly they should. They can buy in the next round. So this should be at least 9-8 going up for Nordavind, and a decent start on the CT side, especially with that pistol to kick things off.
Absolutely. I mean, luckily there's no force buy. I'm happy to see that Tricked making sure they have the best of chances to be able to break this defense and the buys of Nordavind, because it's an eco, not a challenge here for NVT. Although they do lose Holzerk, I mean, there's not really much to be caring here for NVT. 9-8. And they've got a first real chance to start dominating this first half, or excuse me, this second half. As the CT side, they can take the lead. They can build themselves a bit of a bank. They get themselves onto a comfortable position. And if somewhat or somehow Tricked are able to pull a few rounds back, if they have a bank to fall onto Nordavind, they might have a cushy second half. But let's see how it plays off. It's the full buy. Tricked, they've got 3 SGs. Oh, excuse me, 4. Oh my. That's a lot of SGs to work with. Fair enough. We'll see if it works out here for Tricked.
They've gotten down secret with no smokes whatsoever right now. Nordavind maybe a little bit unprepared for that, but they're already digressing back up toward this A site. That might have been a wrong call. Rubino's already spotting legs out, and that'll give him information. Maybe to force a rotate out of Nordavind. It's vital for Trick to perform in this first gun round, or like you said, Nordavind, with these SMGs still in the field, with the fact that they're still winning themselves rounds, they are going to start to build a little bit of bank and momentum on this second half, and that can really play in their hands. Wrapping in toward heaven, though, this time, and with a minute on the clock, Rubino, he seems like he's definitely aware. He's read this really well, and with Croman tucked into the corner, that is a first death that they have to take. Surely they expect a man on site, and exactly they do. Beautiful entries by Tricked, and with 45 on the clock, that should be the A site locked out, and Nordavind, they shouldn't even be attempting to do this. Save their weapons, they know the round's gone.
Yeah. Hara, full utility to save. Holzerk and M4, just keep it in your hands, keep it in your pants. Make sure to transfer it to the next Nordavind. They've got a full buy coming up if they're able to transfer all 3 rifles. In either case, Trick though, that's an excellent beginning for their own second half. T side of Tricked sometimes had issues. There had been moments where they played a little bit too divided. There were especially moments in anti-eco rounds where they played too divided. I mean, we both remember that game on Overpass. Oh man. But just the callback there is the Tricked. They have a very good mentality and a very good base default. But they tend to deviate from it because a few players obviously want to play off their own style, and that's understandable, that's normal. But sometimes they get too carried away, and they find themselves in a cycle of repeat mistakes. They try to get the entries, they continuously fail. Instead of changing the game, or at least changing the way, they continuously try to do it in a single manner, single tunnel vision manner, and they can be beaten in that kind of manner. But Nordavind, we'll see if they'll be able at least to hold the tide in.
Yeah, and exactly that. We saw that against Windstrike as well. Last time they played Nuke in this tournament, it was a 16-14. Tricked had a lot of wacky rounds. So I think we can both agree that we thought it was going to go to OT, which it did back when they played against Namiga, but it was 16-14 this time, and we're able to close out both of those. But yeah, Tricked, like you said, some of their rounds that they do play are a little questionable at times, but Nordavind, they have currently made as many rounds as they got the last time they played against Tricked here on Nuke, 9 total. And of course, are looking to better that this time. Already that T side down in toward that lower secret position yet again. With plenty of time to work this tiny utility to do so. It will force a peek out of Holzerk. That's going to be a free kill for Shush to harbor. And with Harry now on the rotate, a little bit of molly damage done. A beautiful trade in return, but Borup will make light work of him. A 4-on-3, and again, the bomb site's locked out so easily by Tricked. Nordavind shouldn't have an entry passage whatsoever in this unless they find a couple of kills in quick concession. Bubsky will be the first, but he was already on toward outside, and the rest of the team, well, they'll just lock out the bomb site. Nordavind again putting themselves in a really unfortunate position where they're not going to be able to enter the site and try and retake.
Yeah, again, if they attempt this and lose, they find themselves on the bottom of a pit where there's not really anything to do with. Croman, he will take down Akor, but it's a save already. They will not have enough time to be able to get onto site and defuse while still being able to frag 2 players. Unless they're Superman, unless they're Flash, who can run at lightning speed and be able to somewhat, you know, somewhat to take those 2 players down, you won't be reaching the bomb site in time. 10-9, and Trick take themselves up for the first time in this game, I believe. Besides the 4-0 result and the 4-4 tie, Trick have been always trailing behind Nordavind. Well, okay, they took it in 8-7, but still. The point is, they've been trailing them, and 10-9. We've got a successful full buy up against a bit of an eco, I guess you could mention. 2 SGs, though. Can NVD make short work of Tricked here?
Especially with the Kevlar in hand as well, definitely the chance to find some kills, and that's exactly what Tensky's going to do. Opens it up at least with a first onto Borup, maybe a chance of another rifle to be picked up. Bubsky tagged as well to at least inflict a little bit more damage. Harry the first to fall, however, just to make light work of him, but it's Tensky again that can't battle this time. The Krieg's good, but it's not as good as an AWP that will force the rotate out of Nordavind down toward that B-bomb site. And at least do have one more SG in the hands to work with. But again, it's Akor. That shot nearly rattled off as well as he closes down Rubino. But down into a 4-on-2. And again, it seems like Trick, they now have found the right method, the right potion to drink to finally beat Nordavind in these consecutive rounds. And even with an entry going in the favor, or an exit going in the favor of Nordavind, there's the round itself, the Trick 11-9, and now a buy to come from Nordavind. Again, a vital one to see whether or not they remain in the runnings for the second half. Rose Trick should be putting themselves up to at least 12-13 rounds before Nordavind again can force a rebuy, and that's where Trick are really good at hammering home and getting games finished.
Yeah, indeed. The good thing is, Nordavind can afford an up drop from Croman, and with the save of the 2 rifles, they're able to rebuy and reinvest into full utility behind it as well. That's going to give them a pretty fair chance to beat whatever Trick have to throw at them. And right now we do see that, I mean, as you said, Tricks, they've started to raise the stakes. The heat is on, and Nordavind is having trouble catching the fire, at least for the moment. Borup, again, outside. Last time he died pretty soon. I mean, pretty much immediately. So we'll see if the entry goes to Nordavind again and they still lose the round afterwards. So Borup, he's made his way through main. Wait a second, where's the check from outside? Garage. It's not, there's no attention from Garage, and Borup's able to sneak in a free kill. That's a sight. Nordavind immediately lose A, and that's the round gone. That's pretty much it. Should be a save afterwards. Nordavind, their retake is nigh impossible from this position, and we can see already they've the 2 players in T base already, or CT base, excuse me. I guess that's how it goes.
Yeah, Tricked again able to just lock out the site so quickly, like you said, and Nordavind, that's going to be a real issue for them if they're still losing rounds because they have to save. They're not really trying, or not really giving too much of a battle to Tricked. It's a very simple round for them to take, and that is going to be 12-9. Thankfully, as they do save 4 of their weapons, they will be able to again drop out to Croman. They'll have another revive, but this is getting to the point of a lot of risk right now for Nordavind. There's only so many times that you can go and save your weapons. You have to try and attempt retakes at some point, because if you're not killing them off before they plant the bomb and you're already saving once they have, you're having little opportunity to win these rounds. And you can see that Trick, they're feeling so comfortable, so much money built up that they're safe for 1 or 2 rounds to come, even if Nordavind are able to find success. So you can see that Trick are really starting to steamroll now, and maybe this was the problem last time. Maybe this was where they got stuck on these 9 rounds. They've not been able to make anything else from it. A beautiful shot by Borup, somehow surviving that, and Holzerk, whilst he rattles off a trade, it is back into a 4-on-4. Holzerk will reposition, but outside control established, and the trade looking to be made by Trick with Borup now picking up that AWP.
And as you said, a vital round. Nordavind, the money, no longer in the best of positions. Luckily, they have a bit of bank, and with the loss bonus... Okay. Nobody checks red.
Look how deep Bubsky is as well.
Yeah, Bubsky already threw Secret down into vents. Or excuse me, not vents, but rather tunnels into long. Oh man, Trick, they've got free B site right now. Goodbye, Hade. No, he doesn't even check. He does not check. That's the core mistake. And Bubsky, that's a free kill again. Holzer, Croman, what do you really do? I guess the answer is save again. You don't really have much of a choice, although... I mean, Tricked are everywhere. They're like ants. They're everywhere on the map. Everywhere you go, the CTs are just being sniped. It's like assassins, shadow assassins, Assassin's Creed or something. Are they climbing the walls? Holzerk, he needs to save this up. I mean, the loss bonus is high enough that they get enough to be able to rebuy, but there will be a drop required on Croman. And Hade, well, his money is not exactly perfect as well, but he's at least going to have enough for an own 4 of his own. Either way, they need a drop. And Nordavind, it's starting to shape into a pretty poor CT side. Sjush will take him down even. Oof. This is a tough one. Tricked somehow. They're just steamrolling through Nordavind right now. I mean, how does Bubsky get in that kind of position without a single man being aware of that?
Yeah, exactly. He was so deep into that B tunnels, and he was there for so long as well. It was not even an option considered by Nordavind that there could have been someone that deep down. It's very common for someone to drop through vents or, you know, to dive down in the early stages of the round. And yeah, it's something that Nordavind unfortunately just didn't consider, but looks like a tactical pause to be taken out by the CT side. It's something they have to do, considering that Tricked right now is so close to that victory position. If they take away this next buy round, which of course Nordavind are going to make, then that's at least a 14 and a 15-9 to come, and we could even see Trick just end this 16-9 exactly like they've done in the past. So yeah, maybe this is definitely the unfortunate position for Nordavind, that they get stuck on the CT side. And Tricked, their T side is a side that, again, is, you know, can be full of mistakes, can be a little bit up and down, but once they get on this steamrolling sort of trend, like we've mentioned, they can really just close out a game, and that's exactly what they're looking to do. You can see 10k stacked up by Hunden. They're loving life right now, and again, forcing those rebuys of Nordavind is just going to make their life easier. They kind of get an AWP out, maybe a double. No, they're going to play for an org instead, so fair enough. But yeah, this is last chance saloon realistically for Nordavind. They'll have maybe one more buy if they are to lose this, but seems like the end is nigh for this first map, and again, just showing that maybe there is a lot of weakness on this overall map itself for Nordavind.
I mean, the CT side certainly looks like weakness. They won both pistols, we gotta remember, and they are still... Yeah, that's the crazy part, right? They won both pistols, and they're still down right now, at least. I mean, what more do you need to do, at least when it comes to regarding the opening of the halves, to have a better beginning? I mean, this perhaps is a bigger issue than just having a good start or not having a good start. Certainly looks like it. Nordavind, they lose this round. That's most likely map point going to Tricked pretty soon after. I don't see Nordavind stopping Tricked after this. The money is low. The loss bonus might be high, but their bank is dried out. That's the issue. Intensky, close range, yes. No chance given, no quarter given. Bubsky has been spotted down in secret, at least. Rubino has the info now. They know they have a man behind. Kromen, there's the double. That's what we were waiting for. Finally, he sounds off. He holds a sight. Rubino will be tagged to 37, excuse me. Bubsky, again. He sneaks in through. He gets a free kill. That's a 3-on-3 with B site lost. And Nordavind, what's the response? Where's the response? Holzek not ready? What? Kromen and Hara, you have to attempt this retake. You have to win it more than anything. And I guess the answer here is Kromen. A hat-trick and nothing more.
Just want to mention how much mind game that Bubsky played with Rubino there. You could see early phase of the round, Rubino was checking the close corners. He was checking that window lobby position. They knew that he was going to be lingering down somewhere, but Bubsky, he completely stark contrasted that previous round. Yeah, exactly, MP9s and MP7s, but Bubsky completely stark contrast that previous round. He was aggro in the first, where he got so much info. Then he sat back toward the back of vents in that one. He played so many mind games with Rubino that forced him to check overly these angles. That was what really played him off there, and it was a perfect display from him. That's 14-9, and like you said, it's a desperation buy at this point. The MP9s, they're not good weapons unless you're positioned very well. Maybe if you go a little bit aggro, get through that radio room, try and challenge, but you can see that Nordavind, it's last legs for them, and they're slowly dying out of this game, unfortunately, and if they lose this round, it's probably game over. There'll be no money left in the bank, like you said.
Oh, Kromen, he's going to be mollied out. Akkor snuffs out the resistance. An entry to Tricked usually means a victory for Tricked. The 3 SMGs, I mean, they can win the round, don't get me wrong, but it's going to be so difficult to win the engagements if they come at an unfortunate timings, especially at long-range or mid-range engagements. But overall, we see Tricked are taking a lot of time here. Borup solo peeks. Gets himself shot off. That's Stensky with 1. That's a good start. Second, Sjush. Oh, wait. Oh, a team kill. What? Back to team kill, and it's still a 3-on-2. Tricked 1 by 1. They peek ramp, they die. A big mistake by Tricked. That's you know, that's just a small indication of how wrong it can go when you line up and when you peek one by one instead of working together. And Akor, no more kills for him, buddy. 14-10 Nordavind, Desperation Buy wins, and they get themselves up to 10 rounds, double digits finally achieved. Oh my, Kieran, I never would have thought to see SMGs win.
Yeah, me neither. The fact that they purchased into those MP9s is more of a dire strait than a chance at success, and they actually make it work. Maybe more to the mistake of Trick, though, than it was with their own tacticians, but fair enough to get themselves a 10th round. They make one more than what they found in previous, and great damage done by Tensky. All ready to be closing down Borapit's Akor with a swift response onto Holzerk, though. Makes it back into a 4-on-4, and he's going to be looking for blood again. He spots out Tensky, and he'll want to stay safe, does not want to be challenging that AWP of Akor again. He's deadly in this sort of position, even spamming down those angles. And again, Shush, deep-rooted inside of those tunnels, and he makes it work once more. That's such an exploit that Nordavind have been showing, such a weakness down toward this B site. It's not been held at all by Nordavind or this CT side, although look at Croman right now. He is trying to embed himself in the back lines, but the timing just against him as they pass through the boxes. He'll now realize all the information, though, and should be able to at least get himself a first kill. Whiff of the second. Oh, not even whiff. Got the first. Bubsky was quick enough to trade for the second and into a 3-on-2.
Well, there goes a fair chance of winning for Nordavind. Remember, they're still back to square one if they lose this round, and Siash, the kill on Rubino, that's pretty much going to confirm that it's all eyes on Tensky, and, well, the last chance here for Tensky. Losing this round most likely translates into losing this game. He's outside, he's not even close to B yet. He's going to make his way towards Secret. What do you really do when you're faced off against 3 players? And you still have 5 rounds or 4 to tie it up. And if you lose this, it's 5 rounds in a row. Or lose the map. And sure, it might be your opponent's map pick. But you've come this far. 10 rounds is not an easy achievement against Strict. So yeah, Nordavind. This is a tough one. Tensky, obviously. I mean, he decides to save. Not really much you can do.
Yeah, and even with the first onto 100 to exit, nothing that will be making too much of a difference. Does actually get that AWP off the dead body of Akor, but with not a lot that they can really post with it. Again, it's going to have to be another desperation buy out of this CT side. And props to Nordavind for battling as greatly as they've done, like you said, to get double figures against Trick, especially on a map like Nuke, where they have been known to steamroll in the past. They've bettered themselves. They've got one more round so far than what they had in the previous encounter, so there's a little bit of improvement to be made there. They definitely showed some great signs on that T side, but again, exactly of Trick. They've blown them out of the water this second half, and yeah, it comes down to how much that Nordavind can hold on. Like you said, it's 5 rounds to tie things up and take it into overtime. And even losing, you know, 3 or 4 players if you were to win the round is still going to be dire straits for this CT side, so it has to be done cleanly. And this time, Trick, they'll set themselves up for more of an A-site take. A couple of players situated toward ramp in case there's a flank to come through, but Bobsky already showing signs with the rest of his team to be lingering through that secret door, wanting to make their way out into the bomb site, but it's a matter of when rather than how for Trick at this point with a single round required. It's all just in the hands of Nordavind, and a mistake from their side will probably finish this game off. 55 on the clock. Holzerk is deep embedded inside of Secret. This could be a beautiful angle for him to peek, actually. He should get a kill off of the back of this. Only takes the 1, though. And there's Hunden to trade. The sound being used by Bubsky onto Rubino, and they'll storm into main and try and take over this A site.
Yeah, looks like Akor will find a secondary, although Croman holding the line. He's been quiet up to this point. Finally, double, triple. Croman once more providing a hat trick. Even though it might be the last one he does, he still does it. And well, Croman goes out wide. Molotov burning him, and Borup able to pull it into a 1-on-1. He's low HP, though. And Harre.
Oh, so smart.
Yeah, he's not gonna full plant, but Harre still walks it through. Although that was a dangerous maneuver, actually. If Borup had been facing Hut, then yeah. That would have resulted with 16-10 result. Or 16-10 ending here for Tricked. Otherwise, Nordavind 11th round, 4 to go in a row. Can they pick it up? 2 MP9s, Kieran. And M4s and SG to go with it. Not a lot, not much of anything really to back onto.
Yeah, and it's going to be like this the more that they lose players, but win rounds, unfortunately. Still going to be facing, or having to face with those weaker weapons. And Akor again, he'll get himself out toward the back of the outside red. Nice shot onto Tensky, a little boost up, giving him a first kill, and that's already going to see signs of weakness once more for the Nordavind side. And with a 5-on-4 to play with, it has to see a trade out of Nordavind. They have to try and make a refrag in return, especially with so much time left on the clock. You can't afford to be going into a 5-on-4 with this much time left, and Holzerk, he's going to try and be the man to do so. Should start to hear the footsteps soon, but it doesn't matter as Bubsky trades it first. It is Rubino that responds, but Borup just closes down Holzerk, a 4-on-2. And it seems like the time is nigh on the end of this game. It's 2 kills required, and it looks like Tricks, they've crossed the threshold and sealed the deal.
And Borup kills himself.
What a way to win the game.
Borup jumps down from heaven, kills himself. There we go. Yeah, what a way to end the game indeed. Rubino, 4 HP, a 1-on-2. The bomb not yet retrieved. And by the looks of it, it's in heaven. Oh my, oh wow, okay. Rubino, here's the first, but doesn't matter. 16-11. and gentlemen, welcome back to the UCC Summer Smash. It is time for our second map of this best of 3 series. Nordavind versus Tricked. Nuke not going exactly to the plans of Nordavind, or at least the way they imagined it after getting 11 rounds, but it will be Overpass. It will be their best map, we can say, and historically looking at it, we spoke about Nuke last time, we spoke about Overpass a little bit. Every time they played, it was 16-12, 16-13, and Nordavind seemingly just being the better team on Overpass.
Yeah, they've definitely proven that, especially, like you say, with the recent results that they've posted on this map. But it's again going to start with how Tricked respond to this Overpass now that they've lost twice in close fashion to Nordavind on this map. Maybe they're looking to try and make some slight improvements. Their Overpass record itself isn't as strong as they would like it to be. 62% across 18 or 16 games. They've recently won in overtime, but lost their previous two, both both in the same 2 days against Nordavind and Copenhagen Flames. So there's definitely, more of a weakness on this map than there was on Nuke. And as we see the knife round looking to go in the favor of Nordavind as Bovsky tries to run for his life. They should be picking the CT side to begin on. We know that Nordavind do like that CT side on Overpass, but yeah, I think this is more of... We know that Nordavind can win Overpass very comfortably. It's all about how Trick responds to this now, much like a similar scenario to how Nordavind would have responded on Nuke.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Tricked have had a few issues on their T side. They made a few crucial errors, specifically Nordavind's force buys. I mean, they worked out way better than they should have had, and I mean, it didn't look too good at times. Trick certainly, at one point, we might have believed if somebody would have said, yo, this is going to be Nordavind picking it up, right? It was 4-0, it was 6-4, I think, and then obviously the tide went into an 8-7 final score. Nordavind losing it, of course, but Tricked, I mean, this is Overpass, and this is a map that Nordavind absolutely love to play if you look at them in the past, and well, I mean, already the pistol is running out to be a pretty weird round. I mean, we do have 20 seconds until the minute mark, but Tricked have been all across the map, losing the first. The second as well, Tensky finds himself a target. A double for him, but unfortunately Hunden is fast to respond at least. Kromen, patient and waiting, deadly like a predator. And well, there you have it. The bomb dropped should confirm the round to Nordavind now.
Yeah, and looks like it's going to be, again, another good start out of this Nordavind side. With Harry already spotting up toward that A-long position and Hunden stuck inside of Toilet trying to recollect that bomb with a nice little crossfire set up by Kromen and Horzerk. 40 seconds on the clock approaching. And we'll be giving that CT side the chance to begin fire down. Beautiful by Hunden, though. He'll take himself a double. That's a really unexpected aspect of the round. Again, drops the bomb once more, but is collected by Shush again. 25 on the clock as he now heads down toward that B bomb site. Should be able to force out the bomb planting. That is exactly what he's done. Into a 1-on-2. Very hard for him to win. Ravino comes in from that back line, but it's already Harry that shuts him off. Not even particularly focused on Heaven there, Shush, and it's a nice little first round to Nordavind. Like you said, a pistol goes in their favor and a kickstart to the CT side.
Indeed. A great beginning. Now, Tricked, they've been... Well, their pistol round was a little bit weird. We could see them kind of spreading around, having tentacles everywhere. The better question is, could have they gotten away with the round if Hunden survives their in-connector? I mean, that was pretty much the vital kill that dropped the bomb, that delays the push, that delays the plant, and gives the 2-on-1 advantage to Nordavind. So Tricked, AK on Borup, fair enough. It will be a bit of a buy-up. It's Nordavind with Hunden with mini Kevlar and Borup with the full Kev and AK. And we've seen these kind of buys before. We spoke about it in the past. The AK certainly can give you an advantage. Question is, how will it be used?
Interesting that they've just gone for that solo AK. Like you said, we've seen this before from Tricked, as they like to utilize a single rifle. Already, though, Shush, he'll be the first man to fall, and ensuring that Nordavind again keep themselves the early advantage in this round. Rightly so, they should, with it being more of a forced wide than most. Bobski not going to check the corner. Holzerk tried to swing in and somehow will come out alive. Final deagle shot not going to land. There's the single rifle, though. Able to rattle off some damage toward Rubino. It's Akko that finishes with the Glock himself, but a beautiful double lineup out of Tensky, leaving Hunden last man alive in a simple second round for Nordavind that should lead to a third. And a very confident start on the CT side to begin this second map.
Indeed, Holzerk, that's a great kill. And Nordavind certainly looking good from the get-go. Now, I'm kind of surprised the AK was used this sparsely, or at least this poorly. I certainly could have come to better terms with it. Although Tensky, we gotta give it to him. I mean, the hold, as we can see on the replay, obviously, or could see, perfect. Full buy, Mech 10, pistol for Hunden, an SG, an AK, and an AWP. This is not exactly a full buy, or at least not the proper definition of it. I mean, it's more of a mini buy, if anything. But Trick have won with worse weapons before. It certainly will be possible. Decent nade, not exactly doing too much critical damage, but does soften up the targets a little bit.
You can see as well, every single player of Nordavind, exactly, I was about to say, there's every single man of Nordavind over toward this B bomb site or connector. They have no A presence whatsoever, and if Tricked, if they'd have moved fast in this round, which sometimes they switch their pace, that could have been detrimental right there, but luckily, you know, they do slow things down a little bit and aren't going to be fully over-aggressing. Shush takes the first kill, though. That's Holzerk to 4, but a very interesting setup out of Nordavind. Again, they're all now rotated over toward that A site, apart from Tensky, the lone sort of proprietor of this B bomb site. Very interesting first sort of initial gun round setup by Nordavind that sees them back and forward across this map. Closely set up toward long, and again, Trick, they showed this in Nuke where they peak solo. Exactly that this time. Tensky to take the first, the second to follow, and it's Rubino that dies. It's Akko that finds one more. Just in a rapid couple of seconds, they've switched around entirely.
And Hare back to 1-on-2. My god, if he can win this, he's gonna completely destroy Trick. He's swinging around, he finds the first, he sees the second as well, and it's Hare! Oh boy, a 1-on-3. He pulls it off easy. Tricked. That is why you don't peek alone. That is why you don't let yourself be isolated in duels. A 1-on-3 and Haris Hajic. I think audio's back.
Favor. Okay, did we lose a little bit of audio there?
Yeah, we lost audio right now. Not sure what happened, but we're back. Guys, we're back. So the round, yeah, it looks like it's going to be a 3-on-2. And again, Nordavind, they might be in a disadvantage, but at least they've got themselves, you know, 2 rifles to work with and the kits as well.
Yeah, looking solid so far, especially, like you say, with those diffuse kits, if they can get a kill in rapid succession, which they can break out into the site and do, that could lead to good things. Borat trading Roman and Harry to fire back, but it's Shush that's able to land, and that's a first kill, or first round, going in the favor of Tricked. Unfortunately, this time not going to reach that 4-0 mark for Nordavind like they did at the start of Nuke. Tricked that reply instantly, and it's a nice little round for them to win, especially considering they came into it with nothing.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
now that Nordavind, they're broken.
That's a great start for Tricked, at least, if nothing else. They get themselves a pretty good deal. I mean, they lose 3 rounds, sure enough, but they've got themselves an important victory. As you said, they're broken, Nordavind, and with pistols and Kevlar, they don't have much they can work with. We do have an MP9 on Hare, but let's be honest, AKs, AWPs, SGs, you cannot really go head-to-head with it unless you are a Deagle-meister, or you've got a Scout or something of the like, of the lower weapons, lower class weapons, if you can designate them like that. Trick, though, I love the way they're playing right here. This is pure alternate attack style 2017 2018 or early start, where you play with 3 players towards playground. And I mean, it's not just ATN. It's been used continuously by many teams. I'm just falling back to it because of Hunden, obviously. And what you look to do here is take map control, make sure that whenever there might be a push coming up until the minute or, you know, 50-40 second mark, you're controlling pretty much all the vital angles, and you might be a little bit sparsed out, or at least spaced out with 2 of the players, and they are isolated for those duels, but you give them enough room to be able to run away safely, and that's exactly what Trick do. They do lose Bubsky, but they tagged onto Kromen and, well, Hare as well, and it's gonna be played 3 players holding. This could work. Halzerk finds the first, the Molotov fails, but Hunden, he's gonna be able to call it out. He's gonna be able to find one. Hare, Tensky, the Deagles. That's it, Tensky, Hare, the Deagles. Oh my god. Nordavind, 4-1.
And just as we mentioned, talking about the past with Hunden, it seems like Trick, they have reverted to the past. They again lost to another anti-eco round.
Yeah.
Much like they were doing back in early of this year, back when they were building this roster, and that was one of the major issues that we highlighted even just, you know, 6 months ago, where they were having issues with those anti-ecos, and for the most part, they've definitely fixed that. But again, they do revert back to that a couple of times. We see it exactly there, and that will cause Trick to go for a little bit of a tactical pause. We do see the buy round to come from them, AWP in the hands of Akko. Looks like a tech pause actually with a little bit of a disconnect out of Nordavind. So hopefully nothing that will be long-lasting in this game so far. I don't want to be slowing down the momentum all too much. But yeah, overall, Trick, that's a really detrimental round, because not only does it give Nordavind essentially a free one with the eco that they took at the force buy, but Trick again having to rebuy themselves, and now they're stuck in a position where if they do lose this next round, it's again another eco to come. So just by sort of messing up in a little bit of a anti-eco round, it can have detrimental effect on your next couple of rounds to come.
I mean, that's an understatement. It doesn't just go with economy, it goes with mentality as well. It has to have a bit of an effect. And yes, these are professional players. Yes, these are players who are very sturdy in that regard, and surely they are. But it plays a tiny little bit on everyone's mind. When you play CS, you cannot forgive yourself for losing. I mean, obviously you can forgive yourself, but it's just, you know, something you have to brood through it a little bit to think away of the round you just lost in that kind of manner. Because if you lose straight up, if you go for an execution, you lose the duels, that's it, you know, fair enough, we tried it, we failed, end of story. But going up against the Eagles, you know that if you play it a little bit differently, if you adjust a little bit differently, perhaps you can win. If you make a better decision than the one you made, you know, things could have looked brighter. Tricked, again, you know, one-on-one duels coming out, losing them. And as you said, reverting back to their old mistakes. Hopefully, it's just a single or 2 round issue, and they're able to salvage whatever they can as soon as possible. Good nades, Hunden down to 60, and Nordavind, I have to say, they look very confident for a early map loss and, well, going into their map pick.
Yeah, you've got to say the way that this Nordavind side, the way that they're able to transition from map to map with the way that they keep their energy up. They're not a side that let previous losses, you know, really dictate their pace or dictate their energy. We saw that 16-7 defeat yesterday on Overpass against Chaos, and they came into that second map of Chaos's pick on Inferno. They won that, and they went on to Mirage, and they won that as well. They keep the energy up all the way through the series. So I think that's going to really hit hard for Trick, because now that they're facing off on Overpass, which is a map that, again, Nordavind have been able to win in the past fairly comfortably against this Trick side especially. It's going to really play home, and especially with Inferno being that third map, again, a map that they've proven to win as well. This will definitely play on their mind, and especially with Trick now going to be heading down toward that A site. 40 seconds on the clock. You can see that there's not a lot of utility to be breaking in toward this A site with. That's going to really inhibit what they can do.
Yeah, it's going to hinder their aggressiveness. Well, I mean, I guess when that happens, you can make anything work. It's just to refrag. Still Tensky through Optimus. As he takes down one, sees the bomb. Oh, that's a bit of an unfortunate turn. Tricked will have to jump high up onto it if they want to retrieve that. Hare, though, he's back. He had a bit of an issue, and he's back into a one-on-one. As he has an MP9 to deal. Oh, Hare! Again. This boy. This man. Another clutch. A 1-on-2. A 1-on-3. A 1-on-2. How many more will there be from Hara to win this game? And Nordavind 5-1. Tricked are having no easy way out of this. Even with a great advantage, they're unable to close rounds. And that is now a painful, painful moment. I spoke about how losing against Deagles, against Ecos, plays on your mind, but losing 3v1s, 2v1s, that is where the real madness comes, because then the players start to get frustrated, and there's no denial in that. You get heavily frustrated because you know you could have easily won if you played differently, and in that manner, both players went into isolated duels and they lost. End of story.
Yeah, and that's twice now that Harry's been called for a clutch, and he's actually come through that. Like you said, that 1-on-3 on Nuke that he was able to successfully win, and now this one, oh sorry, in the earlier stage.
Yeah, on CT.
Yeah, when he was able to come through, that was again his time to shine, and exactly that. And yes, he's done it again now. Tricked, going to really find themselves in a tough position. This should be a 6-1, and given the opportunity for the CT side to really start to hit home so far in this first half. Minimal rounds gone, and already Nordavind with so many to contest, with Hunden this time to take a first kill, but it is Holzert that replies with one of his own, back into a 4-on-4, even is tagged, and Bubsky down to 13. So especially on an eco like this, beautiful flash keeps Nordavind blind for now, but it's Holzert, Bubsky, oh sorry, Borup sat in the corner, not going to be doing all too much. 6-1, buy round to come from Trick this time, and they have to start doing things with them.
Yeah, everybody was watching the right-hand side of the bomb site instead of the left as well, and that's why Tensky gets a free kill. He peeks out, takes down the bomb carrier, delays the push, and pretty much allows the Opera to freely peek into Banana once more. And Tricked, even on eco rounds, they're not really working together right now. Overpass seems to be their kryptonite. Perhaps Hunden has had enough of it, right? Maybe his time in ATN has had enough, because we have to remember that at one point in time, when Tensky was even playing, they still played alternate attacks, Overpass, as their favorite map. It was basically their go-to map. They would play it in every single best of 3. And they would actually win the majority of their games on Overpass. And even though they might not have a very good win ratio, they had a decent win ratio. And the point is, Tricked, something's not working out. And I mean, we've already pointed out the mistakes in going solo peak, not really helping each other too much. But that's a minimal thing issue that you can fix that easily in a split second. Just go together, refrag each other. That's it. When you go peak, 2 players go peak. Don't line up, just go out together, you know? You can always snag a refrag. Tensky. This time, no luck to get a free frag.
Oh, beautiful flashbang as well. Hunden, he's going to be fully blinding out Horza because he takes him down. Rubino sat close corner though. Shush. Not going to particularly expect it. Rubino rattles home for 2.
Wow.
This gets a little interesting. Attacked through the wall by Bubsky, but Rubino's able to keep himself safe. And what a beautiful kill. That's 3 for him now. Levels it back off, gives the advantage to Nordavind, and as that bomb is planted, this is a 3-on-2 that surely Tricked are going to have a hard time winning, even with Rubino down at 12. He's found 2, and there's Chroma with 1 more as Akko misses the shot. Well, that's the round. And what a beautiful display from Nordavind to keep composed in that sort of situation.
Rubino, 4K, holding toilets by himself. Tensky, the first man to fall, useless in toilets. Then Holzer, falling equally so, being blinded out, doing nothing. But it's Rubino. A 5-on-3, and he saves it all. He gets every single kill, almost. Kroman just assisting tiny little bit there, to throwing a little bit of salt on the wound of Tricked. But that is all Rubino there, and 7-1. What an opening here for Nordavind. They put themselves up onto the pedestal, and they're looking to take this first half very successfully. Minimum, I would say, 9 rounds, by the looks of it. And Tricked, I mean, they have a buy, but nothing is working. Legitimately nothing is going their way.
Yeah, that's the thing right now. Anything that they're trying, just being countered so well by Nordavind. And again, like you said, now that they do have that purchase once more, the AWP in the hands of Akko has been a little whiffy with it in the past couple of rounds that he's had, but maybe can try and make something come to fruition this time. Once more going to focus early in towards short. We'll have the man inside of Connect to provide the support. Aggressive plays out of Nordavind this time, going to try and edge their way through the smoke. If they catch him off, that might be great, but it's Bubsky able to open up for 2, and that's a mistake by Nordavind. Now too overconfident with how they've been playing this map so far, and it's finally cost them. A double to be made by Trick, and that should be a beautiful entry to the round. They should now have the advantage. And as he taps home and shuts down Holzerk, well, that's for sure being Tricked. Making moves in this one. It's all down to Bubsky, and he might have just secured Trick the second round.
I mean, certainly it should be a second round, right? We can't see any hero plays anymore. We've had enough of that, and I think Trick have had enough as well. Rubino, he's the head of board. Oh my god, again, here we go. Rubino takes down 1. Unfortunately, it's only the 1 that's here, so not really going to be able to do much besides that, but oh boy, this has been a roller coaster of a first half for Trick. They've just had one of the most unsuccessful tries of A takes ever, specifically with Rubino holding through a very well-known corner, or at least a position which you would usually check Molotov or otherwise have somebody at least help you clear it. And yet, Tricked. 7 rounds down. Make it 6, make it 5 soon after. But it's a long way to go before they can call this one successful. I mean, if they don't get themselves at least a few rounds in a row, I would say minimum 3-4. I think Nordavind's still up for that easy pedestal of a 9, maybe 10 rounds first half.
Yeah, that's the thing. Especially with this being on that CT side, Nordavind, that's the mark they'll be looking for. And again, they have that buy round to be able to try and keep up that pace. Tricked. It's fundamental right now that they bring some consecutiveness to this first half. They can't afford to be dropping rounds back and forward. Nordavind currently have such a big of a gap. Still, with a minute 35, already going to see some presence down toward B again. Bubsky being the man to once more try and get into the back lines of this B bomb site. With Harry and Croman in defense, the rest out towards A. I like the way that Trick play their T side. They're still playing very, very slowly, very cautiously, even though they know that right now they've got themselves the round. They've found how to break Nordavind. But you know, a side like Hunden is always going to deal with that in a manner that makes them durable for the lengthier part of the game, rather than trying to get these early success out of it. And this time, again, we'll see a very calm and collected approach inside the toilet for the first to check out toward Long, and still Bubsky going to be lingering toward Connector, but now he's joining the rest of his side toward this A site take. Nordavind read this pretty well, though. They do have the 2 men of Holzerk and Rubino with a little crossfire setup and have the support of Tensky on the site as well. So there is a decent setup out of Nordavind right here, and with the limited utility that Trick have, breaking into this A site is going to be a very difficult opportunity. With this crossfire, they have to try and break through right now.
They need indeed, and this is a tower setup that it's going to be Rubino breaking it up. Tensky will find one, but it's Akor and Hunden, and of course Bubsky all aligning together. They do lose Hunden, but it's a 2v2 if nothing else. Bubsky plants Optimus. This is a pretty dangerous plant if you don't know where your enemies are coming from. Especially if they rush out off stairs, they can easily get a tag on you, but it's Akor holding the line, sprays down both. Croman still. He takes it into a one-on-one. Unfortunately, the spray for Akor was good, and Croman could do nothing but wait and die in the end. 7-3, Tricked. They're not done yet, and this should be 4-7, or at least 7-4 in either case, as it's an eco round for NVD. But what a way to start turning the tide in the last of moments, right? I mean, if Nordavind would have took it up to 9-1, maybe better, then questionable whether or not Tricked have the stamina, have the will to even get themselves back on board.
Yeah, that's the thing. They had to win the round when they did, just to make sure. Beautiful nade. Just to make sure that they stayed in the game, and yeah, they did it at the time of asking. They make sure it's successful. Shush being stuck on the ladder a little bit, able to escape, and they do hear a lot of the sound info. All 5 players deep into Connector, heading down toward that B site. They've read this wrong, unfortunately, but might rotate through Heaven instead. It is going to be the Trick side making their way toward the A long position. That's exactly what they're going to do. Straight up toward that CT spawn. And out toward the A bomb site, just running around the map right now, trying to gather as much info as possible. And as Akor takes out a first, Shurshin 4 up, a clean house, Hunden even to finish off, and 7-4, a simple round when it comes to it. Damage was inflicted, but nothing that was really worrying Tricked altogether. 7-4, and a real opportunity now for Trick to make a 5th and a 6th round and really bring the half to Nordavind, considering, as you said, what it could have been for this CT side. For Trick to have 4 rounds and the potential for more in these next couple is a real saving grace for them in the first half.
Indeed it is. I mean, this is another vital round that Nordavind can still extend their lead with and properly put themselves equally on 10 or 11 rounds. 9-6, a reality we can look at still. Whilst Tricked, I mean, they've got a bit of a bank, they've got a bit of money, they've got a pretty good buy and a good start. Holzer has been spotted. He's going to push out. Interesting choice. Tensky refrags. At least it's going to be a little bit easier here for NVD. With connector control still in their hands, they can gather the information. They can certainly put themselves into a better spot to work with. Bubsky, though, finds one, but it's Roman that refrags. Borup had been able to catch the defender of A, though, and Tensky, well, his connector control now is for naught, as he doesn't really have much to do with it. I mean, he can try and flank, but they're already expecting that. While they hear the guy in CT, Hunden's on the flank for Croman. And yeah, Tricked. 5 rounds is theirs, almost certainly at this point. Nordavind, perhaps a little bit too self-confident in terms of Holzer. He had a chance to fall back, yet he did not. And, well, it kind of went sideways after that. The entire mountain just rolled off.
And unfortunately, that's not only going to give Trick their 5th round, but now with Nordavind being broken, they're going to start to really bring the scoreline much, much closer at the end of this first half. You can see that Bubsky's been a real nuisance toward this CT side in these past couple of rounds, lingering toward that B bomb site and connector. He's been getting kills that have swayed the rotates, drawn the attention out of this CT side, and has kept them in the game so far. But yeah, Nordavind this time going to have themselves a full eco. They have to. A couple of pistols to be invested, but
question here.
Nothing that will break the bank.
Did Trick learn anything from their last anti-ecos? Will they be able to overcome their kryptonite? The anti-eco?
That's the thing. They have the weakness, right? They have. There's always a large percentage that they do sort of fluff this round.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, hopefully they're going to be ready for this, because they cannot afford to lose it. They've come this far. I mean, it's not exactly rocket science, and it's not exactly already victory, but they've come to this point already. There's no point in denying the fact that they might be a little bit too eager. They might be a little bit too overextended, and they can easily lose against pistols, and that could break them. That could be the final snap in the end. But yeah, I mean, Tricked, I think they've learned their lesson. We can see how they're setting themselves up. It is a bit divided, really. Bubsky in trouble, and Bubsky dies. Oof, not a good start. 42 seconds.
Worst part about it now is that Nordavind have realized that if they catch Bubsky on their own, most likely the rest of the team is on the other side of the map, which is exactly the case. Although it seems like Tricked have responded well from this. As Bubsky dies, they will rotate back over toward that B bomb site. This is a really good read of the response of Nordavind right now, because as soon as they put all 5 players toward that A site, they dip entirely towards B, and that's so smart. They know that Bubsky's that lurk player. They know that once they realize his position is given up, they're most likely Tricked on the other side, but they've read that and rotated really well for the back of it. Bomb is down. And as Akor picks up a first into Tensky, that's the AWP taken out of the situation. Holzerk does get it in his hands at least, but with no defuse kit to work with, and those couple of rifles held, it might be the chance to go and save them. But as Akor, beautiful shot onto Holzerk. A 4-on-3 that should see the round at least closed off here, and 7-6 Tricked. They're now only a single round away from tying the scoreline.
Indeed, a noose is forming around the neck of Nordavind. They're going to have to be able to snap it if they still wish to have a chance of closing up a 9-6 half. It remains on the board yet. Nordavind have a bye coming up, so they will have the firepower for it. And look at this shot. Akor. A millimeter adjustment and a free kill. Well, 7-6 and Tricked facing off the music of Holzerk's AWP. They have to deal with the full utility and rifles and the entire compartment of NVD as well, so let's see if they've overcome many fears. Croman on short, the entry again. Bubsky falls once more. It is a solo peek, a solo engagement through short. No flash, no mollo, no support, no nothing. Tricked have been losing players like this consistently, and that is gonna become a problem, if not sooner rather than later.
Again, it's highlighting that Bubsky, as he plays in this solo sort of position, it works for a couple of rounds, but once it's read and once it's realized, Nordavind have been able to very quickly shut it down in these past couple of rounds. And again, you can see the reaction. Just by getting that first kill onto Bubsky, they drew an extra player out toward the A bomb site just to be sure, because they can never tell with Bubsky whether or not he's being that entry or whether he's playing the lurker role. 55 on the clock and already heading down toward that B bomb site. As time does tick, they break through, and Akor, he'll be the first. Croman does shut one down, not before Shush able to return fire with a trade into a 3-on-3, but every single man of Trick currently tagged in a flick out of Holzerk that sees the IGL picked out. 3-on-2, and as that bomb is looking to be planted, have to be very, very careful with how they assert themselves now, as man disadvantage. It is Akor that swings for one, has to be careful. Shush finds two, though. Second at least, and Akor lining it up, supporting his teammate, and a little bit of a risky round, but it pays off for Trick. 7-7, and they tie things up. 100 most entry kills as well. Go on, bro.
Well, he's been having a great start from map 1 and forward, so why not? And definitely 10 skills on the leaderboard, kind of being able to put things into perspective. But Nordavind, this is their last buy. Double up, MP9, P90. Jesus, Tensky.
I don't think I've seen this in like a year.
I wish I hadn't seen it even longer. But an M4 for Croman at least. No kit though, so yeah, there goes a worthwhile buy. Kit should definitely be required. Bubsky though tagged up, but Syash, the win against the MP9, the P90 works out, and it's gonna be an entry to Tricked. And another devastating start to Nordavind.
Yeah, and this is again highlighting that whilst these two have battled before, and it's been Nordavind that have the success on Overpass, definitely going to be maybe some VODs and some malleable aspects that Trick realizes. Akor and Borup, beautiful shot by Borup. And that'll seal the deal at the end of the first half. They're going to take this 8-7 from such a respectable 7-1 scoreline out of Nordavind. They've tied it up and even took the first half victory. To be fair, though, it was 8-7 to Tricked in that most recent game that they played, and it was 8-7 for Tricked on the CT side.
have our second pistol starting up. It will be tricked on the CT side. And one thing we can safely say, their CT side usually is the best side to watch and enjoy. They've got excellent communication to work with, and they've got excellent team play to work with. And not that I want to take anything away from Nordavind, but simply put, tricked CT side usually was quite an impressive one. In any case, 8-7 and tricked on the map of Nordavind. Can they find themselves the 9th round and put Nordavind to bed? Potentially get up to double digits before Nordavind ever have a chance to get a single one.
Yeah, that's going to be definitely the motive they're looking for right now, especially, like you say, with that CT side being the better half for tricked in typical games. This time, though, Nordavind going to put themselves up through toward toilet. Does look like the A site wants to be their port of call for this pistol round, and like you said, with Nordavind in that past map, winning both of the pistols but losing 16-11, again, was just highlighting that those pistol rounds, realistically, for Nordavind meant absolutely nothing. It was just another round that they put on the board, so have to win this one to try and keep in the game and stay alive and put some extra rounds in their favor. It's Shush that opens up for a first bore up and hunt, and they line 2 up as well. And well, that's the round in itself. Rubino, last man alive, even with the kill in his favor. Not that it'll matter. 9-7 and tricked. Well, they find an all-important pistol round that, like you said, would surely put them up to double figures now.
I mean, indeed it should. There will be no AK buys for Nordavind, so therefore there is no reason for them to buy up. If they forced it up here, going on in with pistols, they compromise the entirety of their second half start. In any case, 10-7 should be on the board. And we do have ourselves tricked kicking off this second half successfully. This is a great beginning, given how we began, given how badly they had the first half, or how badly it went against them. This is an excellent start. And, well, we got to keep in mind, this is the second map. Nordavind lose this, they drop down to the lower bracket finals, I believe. And that's never a fun position to be in. To be needed to play one more best of 3 in order to get to the grand finals themselves. One thing we should mention is that they can still meet a few more teams that are equally as good, or at least close as good as they themselves are. So not an easy position to be in indeed. 10-7 should be coming up.
This time, beautiful nade tackle with a FAMAS. All right, getting himself a triple. Nice little eco kills to come. And like you said, a very simple round that does put Nordavind under an immense amount of pressure. The gun round has to be taken by them, or else we'll see tricked again, much like a similar situation to Nuke, putting themselves at a 13-7 similar scoreline. And that's going to be realistically where Nordavind will have a lot of pressure, a lot of insecurities about their own play. Halls out last man alive in this 1 versus 5. Trick doing very well to keep all their men alive as well. And there is Akor, a nice little ace for him. Closing out the eco round, puts 5 kills on the board, tops that leaderboard. And this is the first buy round for Nordavind. Gotta say though, it's gonna be a weak ass buy round. They've got $3,700 between them, which means it's mostly going to be Kriegs and a couple of AKs, but absolutely no utility. A single flashbang is all they have. This shows just how weak the round is right now for Nordavind.
Yeah. Indeed, it does show. And one thing we can mention is, well, this could still be enough to grab the round back in their hands and potentially break tricked right here, right now. The money, not too good for the CTs. And their loss bonus is at 0. We got to keep in mind they will barely have enough to buy at all if they don't save anything. And Rubino, the entry is his. NVD find themselves as the first man. And they're pushing up long. They're going in fast and they're going in hot. Let's see Borup. Does he realize it? No, Hunden neither. Both fall. Not a single shot fired. And that is 8-10. That is tricked having to save. Bubsky and Syash keeping what they can in their hands.
Yeah, this is going to be a very, very interesting round from Nordavind. Beautiful display from them to break into that A site, but you gotta say, maybe again another mistake out of tricked. Like you said, not even rattling any shots off in that previous, so Tensky spots out Bubsky. A bit of damage done to him, but that Krieger is going to come out on top. Denies again another save of a rifle. And while Shush at least able to trade for 1 in return, picks himself up an M4 and dives toward that T-spawn. will at least just try and save the 1M4, but 10-8 and Nordavind, they'll guarantee their first gun round here on the T side. First time of asking and already instant success. We should see again.
An eco, yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be an eco. Pistols and Kevlar at the max for sure. Keep that one rifle in the hands of Shush and go into the next with that full buy. So, gives the chance for Nordavind to make it 9 and push closer to grabbing that double-figure scoreline and making the life of Tricked hard again.
The one thing I could see here, if they had survived with Bubsky and Shush not engaging, trying to lose actively the rifles, that they could have bought up. They could have had 4 rifles, maybe even a scout, an SMG, or a shotgun or a pistol, and that would have been a pretty worthwhile buy to work with, although that could endanger their entire position. So it is understandable they want to play it safe, they want to make sure they have the utility for it. But this will translate into 9 to Nordavind and closing the distance down to a single 1 remaining, which in turn translates to most likely Tricked being, well, not just most likely, being on the edge. Being on the edge of not just being tied up, but potentially losing a round that could break them completely, economically speaking, giving Nordavind a pretty nice win back towards their second map victory. 10-9 is coming on the board. Akor probably wants to get away with a exit frag, I guess. Not sure what really he wants to attempt through heaven.
I think he's just trying to get the M4, maybe try and see if he can dip out with that.
Yeah, fair enough.
Which, again, it would be a valid save. It has a nade as well to work with, but with Croman already hunting him down, they know the rifle's in heaven anyway, so they're going to be checking that position, and exactly so. Croman not going to give any sort of room for maneuver for Akor there, and that's going to be, like you said, 10-9. Trick's buy round to come, and the chance for them to again start to put themselves on the front foot, but still the momentum is now going in the favor of Nordavind. They've been able to pick up those consecutive rounds. You can see them again stacking the money, getting all that utility. Very stark contrast to what they had in that first gun round where they had absolutely nothing. Now they have everything to work with.
Question is, did the save last round pay off for this one? If they can win this and put themselves back onto a victory cruise, well, then we might just have a proper game on our hands. Nordavind desperate to win it as well, obviously. Their little round win in a row gave them quite a bit of momentum. Bubsky, the entry is his. This time Tricked open up with a bang. That's a great start. Nordavind, where's the response? They have nobody in position to really try and do anything. We spoke about yesterday how if you take a certain part of the map, or you lose a certain part of the map, you lose an entry somewhere, you try and push or try and take it on the other side. You try and equally respond with force, or if you have really a set execution plan, you make that. In any case, there is nothing from Nordavind. They're just walking up banana. They have no clearance of long, they have no information.
What he's going to do, but Rubino strikes for 1. It's Bubsky that saves the round, though, and there's the 11th. Exactly what Trick needed. A beautiful A-site hold. Borup and Bubsky doing all the work there. Closing out a very vital round that keeps Trick afloat. You can see that Nordavind, though, look at their money. They're not going to have any issue whatsoever going for a purchase. We'll see everything in their hands. AWP being brought out for Horzerk as well. If Trick can start to make consecutive rounds, well, that's their way to defeat Nordavind. But up to now, with the money still stacked in their favor, and the fact that Trick are only just beginning to build a little bit of bank, it does come down to the need and the must of consecutive rounds. Croman straight through the smoke. A very aggro push, but one that might actually work. Great first kill for Croman, and even looking for Akor as well. A little bit of damage done, but he will at least remain safe for now.
Indeed, he will. The entry to Nordavind gives them the advantage that they needed, at least the early pick. It puts Tricked on edge, and it might just tip them off balance enough to allow Nordavind that free kill, free sight, and the round afterwards. We can see Bubsky is playing kind of alone towards B, supported by Sjush in water. It's Bubsky that's pretty much isolated. If anybody comes through short, he might find himself being killed before he has a chance to respond. 55 seconds and counting. Nordavind will make their way towards B, and it's a good decision. The Molotov even burning a little bit too soon. This will be a problem. A big problem. Tricked. The response has to be lightning fast.
I love this position from Bubsky, but unfortunately right now it's not going to be effective. Every single man has just funneled himself through that monster position. Nectar approach though, and there's Tensky to be picked off, but it's Chroman again that responds with another frag of his own. Giving that opportunity for the bomb to be planted, and that's exactly what will happen. Bubsky at least able to wrap himself in from this short position. Akko's going to be holding down, waiting for his chance to cross. I think he spotted Holzak's leg before the smoke bloomed there, but predicted the cross a little too early. And that might just see Trick pulling out of this round. They do not want to attempt this retake, especially with the fact that Hunden and Bubsky themselves have a sincere lack of economy. There's going to be no purchase if they were to lose those rifles. Nice little shot by Holzak. Did catch out Harry in the process, but not that it will make too much of a difference. And the scary part is only 2 rifles to be kept up now. That's going to seriously make Trick a lot weaker. 10th round on the board for Nordavind, though, and double figures confirm this game is closely battled again, much like it was in that early stage in that first half. But it's Nordavind right now that hold the cards close to their chest. Again, Trick no money, down to a semi-buy. This is where Nordavind, they should be able to tie things up.
Indeed, they should. I mean, it's a bit of a mixed buy to save, obviously, from Hunden and Akor, but the rest, well, not even going to go for Kevlars. Respect for that, you know, Trick. They don't want to risk anything. They don't want to invest into a round they know they probably lose. Perhaps Akor and Hunden might save again, but it's highly doubtful. Akor going to go aggro towards Playground. He's about to be spotted, and Holzer, there's the free kill. That's the up gone. That's going to open up a venue of attack towards A. Chroman, does he check above him? It's an important check to make. If he fails, he dies, and well, he dies. Borup, free kill. But unfortunately, B site is slowly being relinquished. Although Bubsky, wait a second. He's able to sneak in. He's been spotted in. Yeah, Holzer probably heard the scope, I presume. We didn't see his perspective, but I would assume so.
Yeah, especially with being that close and lingering. You know there's an AWP there. Tensky and Harry, they'll find 2 of their own, and it's just Borup that's remaining. An AK in hand, but unfortunately no Kevlar to work with. We'll find the nice shot onto Harry, catch him off guard.
Oh, he thinks it's A.
He's read this wrong, yeah. He thought it was A. He thought Harry was trying to jump up toward Catwalk and make his way through toward the A site. Unfortunately, that is not the case, buddy. Or maybe just a little unfortunate with the timing as well, as he's not going to see anyone on that B bomb site that would draw him back to this position, although Holzak himself and the bomb as well with Rubino going to start lingering toward lower CT. Are they themselves going to go through towards A? It seems apparently so. They're going to shift the bomb right the way through right now. This could be a real
Borup
mixed up in things right now.
Oh, he's dead. Bye-bye, Borup. Nice knowing you.
Okay, yeah, unfortunately, timing's a little off there, and yeah, just flanking the flank there just a little bit, but still 11 to 11.
Indeed. We could see that Tsiash perhaps could have opened a bit wider instead of stopping midway to not allow the M4 to cross or push through it or shoot through it. While Strict, well, they'll have to accept a tie. It's going to be 11-11, and they have a buy on their own. Akor, AWP, the rest with M4s or rifles of their own. Overall, not too bad. Trick, they have at least firepower that can contend against the AKs, but the economy, or at least the utility, is the key issue. They have no real firepower in the utility besides, well, a few flashbangs, and that's it. Bubsky, though, entry for him. It will be the first one to Trick. They go aggressively. They decide to find themselves a bit of a scapegoat, and, well, they force Nordavind into a reaction, into a play perhaps that will serve Trick most. In any case, a minute and change left. Tsiash, oh, the nade. Ouch.
Finally saw the adaptation out of Trick there as well, with Bubsky usually solo aggressing. Did have the man with him this time, which is nice to see.
Yep.
That they're actually switching things up, and if they do want to go aggro, making sure there's the man there for the refrag. But this time with the smoke going down, it will see Nordavind maybe wanting to slightly slow things down. Don't want to pull away just yet from this B site as Rubino gets his smoke and molly out. Or it will confirm that it is clear toward the A bomb site, though if Shush spams this smoke at the right time, surely gets himself at least one, and that's exactly so. Bubsky gets traded.
They don't know Hunden, do they?
Hunden on the back of the site. I didn't realize he's there. Harry will go to check it, though, and Holzuk's there for the support. Harry down to 14, so damage at least has been done. Bomb can be planted. There is a flank by Borup, though, and as he spots out the corner of Holzuk, gets himself that AK to work with. Time is ticking. If Akor times this well, he can deny the plant. Potentially not going to happen, though. Misses the shot as well.
Yeah, not gonna happen. Borup was gonna push for Monster, though. He's got the timing perfectly down as nobody spots him cross. And Akor, well, he's pushing short as well, covering the corner. Borup goes left, veers left. Hard gets the kill. Hare refrags back to a one-on-one. This is the fight Hare needs to win, and unfortunately, his hat trick again comes out, but not the victory. A one-on-one he's unable to clutch. And Tricked will win the round, 12-11. And what a round it is. Nordavind, they've got money to rebuy, though. They've got enough to get themselves at least 4 AKs. But that is a vital victory right now for Trick. The money we can see is so low, and Sjush, he was waiting for the pop flash. Instead, he got naded in the face. That was a bit anticlimactic, but yeah. Definitely Hunden could have survived a little bit longer, though. I was surprised they searched him so aggressively, so it makes me wonder, did he reveal himself earlier and didn't fight, or... you know, they were smart about it and just checked him straight.
Yeah, especially after they killed off the 2 men as well that realistically should have been the site clear, but beautiful flashbang out of Akor will assist Holzuk in his death. Borup, nice little entry kill, and that'll be a 5-on-4 already that Nordavind have to contend with. Tensky going to be tied down below half of his HP as well. That's some hefty damage that he's taken before really any interaction with the Trick player, so...
oh,
maybe the best scenario for him. Hunden spots the boost, but a little too late as Bubsky already the man to fall. Sjush in defense, though. MP9.
Oh, no.
Rapid fire as he adjusts, and that's beautiful.
Oh, Hunden.
Trick just shut things down entirely, and that's a beautiful round to win. 13-11. But we're only losing a single man, or that's great. Nordavind now bankrupt. Trick surely a 14th round to come, and they're finally making moves on the CT side.
That is just perfect from Trick. They find themselves on the verge of going up to map and series point once more, and that will be a cherry on top of things. The way it all began, the way it all went, it seems like Nordavind have lost their mojo, their juice is gone, or they just need a refresher. That this is the map they picked, not Tricked. And right now, looks like this pistol round not really going to go very far. I mean, it shouldn't. Tricked are too smart to allow this to go poorly. It's another anti-eco round, we can say. Let's see if Trick learned anything. A day with Trick to see if they learned anything at all. And it looks like they have, Kieran. They have. Thank God.
Yeah, there's still the fact that they do lose maybe 1 or 2 men, but it's so much better than losing the anti-eco rounds that they were dropping like 3, 4, 5 months ago. Oh, oh, beautiful shot. I thought that was Hunden that actually hit the nice little flick there, but even so. 14-11. Last chance saloon to come out of Nordavind, though. The scary part is that whilst they're able to afford a buy this time, if they are to lose this, then the money, whilst it's going to be added from the bonus, from the round loss bonus, they're not going to have all too much. So it's a must-win round for the Norwegians right now. They have to be able to deliver this one home. They have the Kriegs and the AKs to work with, a little bit of utility in the bank as well, but Tricked right now, they're finally breaking the cycle of this Wrath of Overpass that's been beyond them. Akor, beautiful double. That's all that he had to do. Wow. Support by Borup, and a beautiful round to find. It's already a 5-on-2. And unfortunately, as they shut down Tensky, the flash is perfect. Holzuk, whilst he's able to trade, well, that's the round gone in itself. That's 15-11.
Yeah.
And the scary part is there's no money left. Look at it. It's desolate. This should be the match over.
Oh, my friend, I am afraid to say it, but Nordavind really stepped on their own tail here. I think this just might be it. I don't see an exit strategy for Nordavind. Simply put, I don't see them winning this anymore. I'll be honest. The money's gone. They have a single AK, 2 Deagles, a Mech 10 and a Scout. We've seen them win with worse buys before, but it was usually on the CT side. It was usually when Tricked made a mistake going in solo 1-by-1. Now, I do feel like Tricked have realized that what they were doing in the first few doesn't pay off at all, and Bubsky, again, alone through short. A bit dangerous, but he can choose to take that engagement because, first of all, they've got a bit of an advantage. They can be a little bit more aggressive, unexpected perhaps even. And we can see Bubsky, my god, this guy is just going full on lurk position. Jesus. He's going to be in T-base before Nordavind even realized there's a flank coming. And it's an A play. Tricked. Oh, the rotation. Would you look at that? Not only that gives...
So wise.
yeah, this is it, I think. This is the end.
The scary part is as well, Bubsky's been maneuvered into such a good lurk player. Borup and Harry.
Yeah.
Nice sort of 1-for-1 trade between them. Akort situated toward A long though, and as he takes a first, here's the footstep to the second spot. The shoulder, misguided shot, but does have the support down long as well. Into a 1-on-2, and unfortunately, Harry, he has to clutch again. He has to be the man that does this for the third time in this map. 30 seconds on the clock, and as he makes his way up toward A long with
GG.
Already him in the corner. It's Shush that closes it in a 16-11. A solid series out of Trick. 16-11 twice to close out Nordavind. And again, just before we finish this game, I'd just like to say that Bubsky, back when he was on the Fragster side, wasn't having the freedom to go for that lurk sort of play that he's been doing on Trick. It's Hunden that's brought that out of him. And honestly, I think he's made him such a strong player. Yeah,
I have to agree. And not just that, his timings are perfect. It's like he's destined for the lurk role almost. He is always at the right time, at the right position. This is very reminiscent of the quality of Getright's lurk when he himself had been basically embodied as the god of lurking. And I'm not saying that that is Bubsky, but at least he is showing the potential to be at least close to that. In any case, that's going to be 2-0. It is Trick defeating Nordavind, and a revenge is a dish best served cold. Indeed it is. Nordavind are eliminated from the winners finals, go down into the lower bracket losers finals, while Strict propelled straight into the grand finals themselves. And if nothing else, they at least get themselves, what, $8,000, right? First place, something like that, give or take. I might be wrong.
For first place, 18K.
First place is 18. Sorry, second place, 7.5.
Second place is 7.5. Yeah, so
7.5.
With Nordavind obviously losing the upper bracket final, you go into the consolidation game. So they're into now the championship bracket, but obviously they have to play an extra BO3 to then make it into the final. So we could actually see a Trick Nordavind rematch in the grand final.
That'd be sick. I'd love to see
depending who wins who loses the lower bracket final. So yeah, we can definitely see that matchup repeated again if Nordavind do make it through that consolidation final. Like you say, though, they have guaranteed prize money already. Being in that position, they at least take home, I believe, $3,000 or $4,000, $1,500 if they go out third or fourth. So yeah, it's nice to see, but Nordavind, they'll be wanting more. They'll be wanting that rematch again.
Absolutely, man. I'd love to see the rematch because I actually wonder what the map choices will be if we see another best of 3. Because I have to think Nuke has to be a ban for Nordavind. Simply put, you can't allow Nuke to pass through the best of 3 veto again. There's no...
Surely,
like, you've lost it now 3 times in a row when you played against this team. You're playing in the grand finals. You can't take a risk like that. I think that's clear enough, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think we'll see a different side of the veto. Maybe even a map like a Vertigo brought in, which we know that both Tricked and Nordavind do play. That'd be an interesting one to see.
That'd be awesome. Oh,
that's gonna see how the other matches going. Up next, we have Illuminar versus Aristocracy. Aristocracy obviously playing very well yesterday against No Chance, so we'll see if they can bring something to life against their Polish friends of Illuminar.
Indeed, that will be a game coming up in about 50 minutes' time, gentlemen. So if you have anything to eat, to drink, or otherwise, go now, get yourself some refreshments, and be back in about an hour's time, give or take, when we return, as mentioned, by Illuminar and Aristocracy for the best of 3. My name's Over, joined by Kieran. Of course, you can check us out on social media at Overseard and Vortex Kieran. And until we have our next best of 3, I bid you farewell, and we'll see you guys a little bit later.